Okie dokie. If you are trying, just like me, to sprint towards 2026, accomplishing or already in the groove of accomplishing your goals, I think this is the right video for you. We're going to talk about momentum, ensuring that when we do have roadblocks, we know what to do when those roadblocks get in the way and keep the momentum going towards our goals, especially now since today is November and we're entering a new month. We're entering the last 2 months of 2025, and honestly, I am just really excited to be focusing more on me and the goals that I want to achieve. I think first with just where I'm coming from, I love creating smart goals. I love starting something new, and I think it's easy to get caught up on the initial stages and really be on it the first week, the first couple of days. But it's when we hit those first roadblocks, whether it be, life gets in the way, life gets busy, and then we negate those goals that we have set out for ourselves because life gets in the way and we don't know how to pull ourselves out of that slump. Once we become aware of those roadblocks and really try to backtrack and think about, okay, if I know that X, Y, and Z will happen, I can be prepared to manage that. And so I've talked about this book before. This year I will, and in some of the concepts that I'm talking about are from there. The first step is to recognize why we're doing the goals that we're doing. It's easy to ensure that we stay committed once we know our why. For instance, for me, I think my biggest why is I spent most of 2025 pregnant, and I really want to hone in on the goals that really get me back into feeling good about myself. And I think if you think about your why and if you really dissect it, you recognize that it really does drive you and it really makes you accountable and more disciplined. And another thing to not only recognize that why is that will often lead into you creating your goals and feeding into, okay, I want to feel that, so how can I get to that feeling? And I've talked about goals before, and using the SMART method is great, but I also think that it could be very, very simple. It doesn't have to be a complex system. And so I like to really think about input goals, and input goals are mostly goals that you can control. And not only can you control, but for me, I like to think of them as like the most simplest thing that I could do so that it's easier for me, it's easier for my day to day. So, some examples of some input goals that I think are super easy if I wanted to lose weight, I could say, okay, I'm just going to focus on fiber once a day. I'm going to focus on eating a vegetable, and I'm going to focus on getting enough protein. And the protein one might be a little hard, but I think if I break it even down more, I could say I'm going to have a protein every meal. So if I have 2 meals, 3 meals, I am ensuring that I'm getting my protein in. And so your why, like I said, will filter out what type of goals you want to make, and also understand that like it really is the simple things that will make you accountable, that will make you disciplined, and that will make you ensure that you finish 2025 very, very strong. The second thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is recognizing when you are hitting your first roadblock is understanding what type of achievement type you are. And by that I mean, okay, maybe you are fueled by being in competition with someone else. Maybe you are a type that really likes to track and check, and use one of those habit trackers. Or maybe you're a kind that is thinking about your next goal and wanting to set the bar higher. So just really understanding what type of achievement really fuels you, I think is really going to help you overcome those obstacles when they come. And then the last thing that I think will really help you continue that momentum going is also recognizing some of those beliefs that may be underlying some of the reasons why you're not sticking to the habit that you have implemented for yourselves. So, for instance, I really, really, really am looking forward to journaling the last 2 months just to really help me with my self confidence, to help me with my self esteem, but I've found myself that I am just not doing it. And I think the reason why I'm not doing it is because I feel like I have to have the right time, the right setting, the right pencil, the right notebook. Like, I really think, or that I don't have enough time to journal. When in all reality, it doesn't take me that long. And I think me overthinking some of these processes is really hindering me from journaling. And so, understanding sometimes when we don't take action on our habits, we really negate them. It's because oftentimes we have a belief underneath it all that we need to peel it a little bit and recognize, okay, I'm not doing this because of X, Y, and Z. And you really have to like have a true conversation with yourself to understand that. And that is how we are going to work on our goals for the last 2 months, is to ensure that we keep that momentum going even when roadblocks hit, even when we are the circumstances are not perfect. We are still going to go towards our goals and give ourselves the motivation and understanding of ourselves first to ensure that we can continue forward essentially. So I hope these three not necessarily steps, or I hope these three frameworks help you keep your momentum going as we head into 2026. And I'm excited to kind of bring you along into what are some of my goals and how I'm going to ensure that I stick with them for the rest of the year. And with that, I hope you have a really good week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.